Hi, lovely people. I know it's been a while since I uploaded a video, but I'm going to focus on Lyme disease specifically. I understand that I've uploaded a couple videos regarding several health conditions, monoparasites and heavy metal toxicity, as well as a few other things. But this specific video is going to be focused primarily on Lyme disease and the symptoms, my treatment. I'm currently on my second treatment. So just to kind of encapsulate, I was bitten by the tick September of 2021, began to get very ill in December. I was misdiagnosed, ton of hospital visits, urgent care visits, primary care visits. I tested for Lyme disease through a blood test. I think it's called ELISA, which is over 50% inaccurate. Of course, I tested negative, and my doctor thinks I have a panic attack disorder, which is incorrect. I have never suffered from anxiety up until I had the copper IUD and as well as Lyme disease. So I did a bioresonance scan, which showed that I had 3 to 4 co-infections: Babesia, Babiosis, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, Rickettsia. So as you guys may have already know, that one tick typically carries several Lyme co-infections. And in my case, I had about 3 or 4. I was nearly debilitated with over 20 symptoms. I discovered that I had Lyme disease mid-February, got on a cell core protocol. I strengthened my kidneys and immune system as well as my liver, and I was detoxing and changing my herbals and supplements every month. So I was doing total body straightening, getting the parasites out of my system via shit, like literally pulling these things out of my ass, and they're literally like 3 to 6 inches long. It was traumatizing. It was you can't pinpoint where you ingested a parasite because it can be through water, through meats, through veggies and fruits. There's really no telling, and it's insane. I've been paranoid. But anyway, I got bit by the tick out here in New Mexico. I pulled that little motherfucker off of my fucking ankle and I ripped that shit in half. I had spots of blood on my ankle, but I thought it was just a typical bug bite. 3 months later, I am literally almost bedbound, and I have all of these symptoms, which I shall read to you now. So chronic fatigue, jaundice, neck pimples, numbness on my hands, numb feet weakness, general weakness, central nervous system dysfunction, panic attacks, anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, brain fog, fight or flight, fever, flu, thyroid issues, underactive thyroid, which is hypothyroidism, unable to focus, heart palpitations, light sensitivity, sleep problems, lack of appetite, air hunger, dizziness, migraines, nausea, ringing in the ears. Did I mention migraines? Yes, I did. Depleted heart elasticity. Yes, depleted heart elasticity. So the band in your heart that keeps it pumping, it was so depleted that I had to get on several different omegas, and within a week or two of taking the omegas, I felt a lot better. The chronic fatigue after treatment, it usually heals on its own, but not right away. Sometimes it may take, in my case, after I finished my treatment, it took about 2 months for the fatigue to go away. The jaundice was due to such liver damage and depletion that with the total body protocol through cell core, it pretty much almost healed on its own. The neck pimples was due to the detox, numbness, hand numb, feet weakness. That's all Lyme disease symptoms, central nervous system dysfunction. There was days where I couldn't even do my makeup or drive or cook because there was just such a major dysfunction. Sometimes I couldn't even hold a conversation. Anxiety, panic attacks, depression, suicidal thoughts, brain fog, because a Lyme disease can resonate and infect literally anywhere in your body. Mine was pretty much head to toe, but it did cause all these cognitive dysfunctions and issues. The fever, flu. Oh, I also forgot to mention the swelling of my thyroid, and it caused my thyroid to be low active, and I had to get on NP thyroid, or pig desiccated thyroid, as well as iodine to fix that issue. I also had to cut out grains, dairy, gluten, and most sugars. I don't have any desserts or junk food or any of that shit anymore. I did find some substitutes at Sprouts. The Siete brand has pretty good chips. I had to go almond milk. I could no longer have most of the shit that you see in Walmart or the shelves. I can't have like any sour candy, any Mexican candy like I used to. I've cut it out. It's been about 5 months. Whenever I go out to eat with my loved ones, it's depressing because I can literally only get like 1 to 3 things in the menu, and I can't have dessert. This Lyme disease also caused me to get nauseated. I threw up randomly just for a couple of days. The migraines, the nausea, that goes away on its own once you begin treatment and wrap up your treatment. But what resonated after treatment when I put it into remission was the fatigue, brain fog, and some nervous system dysfunction. But I think that was primarily anxiety because my system was filtering out the bacteria. You want to make sure that you're on some binders like activated charcoal. You don't have to spend a shitload of money. I spent a lot of money because I didn't know any better. I had to get treatment from somebody online, and she doesn't even primarily treat Lyme. She treats parasites, heavy metals, and a bunch of other things. But since it's the same protocol, it's primarily opening up your detox pathways, total body strengthening, like your kidneys, your liver, and other areas to get your body prepped for the last step. And the last steps was clearing out all the fucking worms in my stomach. It was gross. I was shitting out 1 to 3 or 4 a day for 60 days. And I lost track. Imagine, I should have kept them in a fucking jar and showed you guys, because we should be doing parasite cleanses 1 to 2 times a year. I'm on a second protocol. So the cell core, being that they caught it so early, it put it into remission. It put Lyme into remission. However, I'm not okay with remission. I conducted many, many hours of research, and I prayed literally for a treatment to help eradicate this shit out of my body 100%. And I prayed, and a pastor that I spoke to, he actually had Lyme disease as well, and his journey was a lot worse than mine. His wife had to help turn him over and transfer from one place to another. He did not work. He had suicidal tendencies because it affects your brain. Those who are not suicidal and are going through this, we pause for a moment. We pause and we even ask God or the universe, whatever you believe in, like, if it's my time, it's my time. Then take me already, because this is a slow, painful death. And I got into that point where I said, you know what? Take me already. If this is your will for me, then this is fucked up. This life is fucked up, and a bunch of fucked up shit happens. I mean, there's a lot of good, but there's been a lot of bad lately, and I've lived a really dark life full of suffering since I was a kid. I was a foster child, abused, neglected, and in a Hispanic family, the oldest are typically help raise the kids. So I was the oldest girl of 12 siblings. I had never met my biological father. So I just was like, you know what? My world, my life is so fucked up. Just fucking take me already. Like, I don't know what I did to get this curse, and I wouldn't wish this shit upon my worst enemy, but take me already. I've literally got to that point. And then a couple months, I started to get better. I wouldn't even say it's a miracle, because I paid a shitload of fucking money. I had to go through the treatment. The treatment alone felt like it was going to kill me. So if you don't put in the work to get treated, you're not going to get treated. Lyme does not go away on its own. And the longer you wait for treatment, the harder it is to get rid of it and the more damage it's going to do to your body. And I've known people that, I've interacted with people online who were fully recovered but suffer from things here and there like light sensitivity and migraines. And there's people who have terrible providers that they diminished them and they just put them on doxy or some sort of protocol that doesn't make them well. A story that was inspiring was Jim Miller's story. He's a UFC fighter. Whom else? I think it's Gigi Hadid. That family, I think two of the sisters and the mother had a really, really tumultuous Lyme story, and you should take time to look at the Hadid's family's interviews regarding Lyme disease because it's really touching, it's motivating, and it's really sad. It's really sad because they also had to go through many, many specialists and spend a lot of money. And I feel for the people that get diminished because my heart shatters for them because nobody should have to pay for healthcare, yet we have to pay for healthcare. They make it a business. They make everything a fucking business when people's lives are on the line. Like, for example, if I didn't have savings, I'd probably be dead. I'd probably be fucking dead. And that wouldn't even make a difference in the world. Like, or the healthcare industry or the specialist that said, your lab work looks normal, so you're fine. And it's like, no, I'm not fine. I have over 20 symptoms. Oh, you're overwhelmed. You have anxiety. Dude, I am a single mother. My daughter is pretty much self-sufficient. All I have to do is cook and clean for her. I was working from home at the time at one of the easiest fucking companies. One of the easiest positions I've ever obtained. So don't tell me how I'm feeling. I feel an active infection in my body head to toe. But that didn't matter. None of that mattered. And they didn't give a shit. I was just an insurance card to them and they discharged me and on to the next person. So we really have to be our own advocates when it comes to Lyme disease. There's a lot of treatments out there, but most treatments do put it into remission. And I'm literally in the midst of so I put my Lyme disease in remission and I had fatigue for a couple of months. I took L-ornithine twice a day and that helped demolish the fatigue as well as, unfortunately, time. You also should do some blood work to assure that your minerals and vitamins are on the higher range, not even the middle or the lower range. Like, say, for example, vitamin C, they suggest 100 to 300. You want to be on the higher range, 250 to 300, not on the lower end, because if you're deficient or low, then you're going to have symptoms. I had low vitamin D. All the B vitamins were low. I literally had to have my mom ship me shots from Mexico and inject my own ass in the mirror every Tuesday. It was 5 doses. So I think my B vitamins are fine. Keep an eye on your thyroid, TSH, T3, T4, thyroid stimulating hormone. You want to push your doctor to run numbers on your thyroid, maybe even run a whole thyroid panel, because the Lyme will deplete you wherever. I mean, my vitamin D was low, my iron was really low. It was like 1 point about to be out of range, and my doctor said, well, it's not out of range, so I'm not going to prescribe you iron. And I said, it's literally on the lower end. Like, I'm suffering from symptoms from low iron. That didn't mean shit. That didn't mean shit to her. I had to get on iron supplements. Farrow Food has good iron supplements, potent iron supplement. I mean, I think it contains gluten, so if you have a gluten sensitivity, then you may want to do slow FE. I think is what it's called. You can find it at CVS, Walgreens, Walmart. But within 4 months of taking the Pharaoh food, my iron anemia deficiency, they began to mitigate, as well as, so when I discovered that Pharaoh food had gluten in it, or it had like it had rice in it. I had to eliminate it and I got on slow fat, and I'm no longer borderline anemic, and I actually take these super greens from Touchstone Essentials. It has a ton of vitamin A, vitamin D, and I'm waiting on my vitamin D test results. So hopefully I will be within the higher range then. This really helps with your liver, and it has a little bit of everything. It has copper, it has zinc. NAC helped with support your liver and the whole detox process. If you guys are interested in the protocol that I'm currently on right now, let me know. I am going to run a before and after test. I'm going to try to find an affordable Lyme disease laboratory, because the tests are from $400 to $1,000. So this protocol, it brings me a lot of hope, and I'm excited about it, because after this protocol, I will no longer have Lyme disease. I mean, it's in remission, but I don't want this. I don't want any sort of bacteria in me. And I say that because it feels like a shadow, literally like a demon, reminding you every day, you can't eat this, don't eat this. If you eat this, I could come back and fuck up your life. So I had to stay away from dairy, sugars, gluten, and sodas, all that shit. You know what my dessert is? Is these cookies from Sprouts. Gluten-free, grain-free, as well as fruit. Those are my treats. Before, I used to eat fucking pizza, cake, cupcakes, but now I literally am so paranoid about what goes into my body. The reason why I want it eradicated, not in remission, is because if we get sick, we're fucked. If we get COVID, a lot of people have posted stories in the groups on Facebook that they get COVID and their Lyme disease reactivates. And that's terrifying, because we can go to Walmart, we can go to the gym, we can just complete a task or run an errand and catch COVID, and then our life is ruined again. But truly, I mean, it's a matter of finding a really good protocol. I went on the Cellcore the last 2 months. I cleared all the parasites, and then the last month I did all the herbal droplets. It was 2 tinctures, and that killed the bacteria. But my practitioner said that you put the Lyme in remission, it doesn't eradicate it. So that was good and bad news. Good news that it's in remission, but bad news because what's life after Lyme like? Do I have to forever watch what I eat? Do I have to avoid overexerting and overworking? What if I have a major live event? Like, what if I go through a tragedy, a loss of my family member, or got like a relationship separation? What then? What if my immune system is vulnerable? Could it come back then? Yes, it can. So a lot of these practitioners don't teach life after Lyme. Is it even after Lyme, or is it forever a shadow you're going to be constantly reminded, and you have to watch what you eat and your lifestyle? Well, in this damn age, anything could happen. You can, look at the pandemic did to people. A lot of people are still suffering, and people are still passing away. That's traumatic shit that nobody was prepared. Nobody teaches you how to process that and be emotionally healthy about it. We were all affected by it. But anyway, I really hope that your Lyme journey is, I hope that you're on route for recovery. Make sure that you have a lot of physical support with like supplements, primarily diet. You want to eat good foods, greens, fruits. Don't put a bunch of foreign processed bullshit into your body because it's inflammatory and it's toxic and it's metals and it's just fucking gunk that can make people sick. I had to run a food sensitivities test. My practitioner, because I told her, look, I still don't feel good. There's something wrong, and don't tell me that it's all in my fucking head, because my head is pounding, my heart, my chest, like what's going on? My stomach is inflated. Like, why is this happening? I thought the treatment was going to restore my life. And we ran a food sensitivities test through hair and saliva, and I have a sensitivity to most of the fucking sugars, to rice, brown rice, gluten, all the rices, including wild rice. And what else? Certain cheeses. But I usually try to avoid all cheeses. If I have a pizza, I have cauliflower crust pizza. Make sure you tell them you have a gluten sensitivity. And with goat cheese, it's supposedly not considered dairy, but sometimes here and there I'll have mozzarella cheese because it's supposed that didn't come up on my food sensitivities, but dairy's dairy. So I hope this information was helpful. I really hope that you guys are on route for recovery. And if you guys have any questions, need any type of advice or support, I'm here. Don't hesitate to reach out. I check my notifications daily just to see if you guys have any sort of questions, because we don't have enough support when it comes to Lyme. Nobody understands. I lost friends, and it wasn't just acquaintances, it was best friends that I've known for over 5 years that I had daily contact with. Because of this, their lack of understanding, educating themselves, and just not giving a fuck about people. So make sure that you have a strong support group. Make sure that you at least educate your friends with basics of Lyme so they can have a better understanding. Or maybe show them a video. Maybe show them this video. There are people that pass away from Lyme, and Lyme should be just as at the top of the priority as COVID is, but it's not, because I don't know, it is hellacious. Nobody deserves Lyme. And with proper treatment, your body will restore. You'll restore. And I hope that you catch it early. And I have some treatments that if you'd like any ideas or some guidance, please let me know.